dishes?
Help you do the dishes?
Well, they're your dishes as much as mine.
But you don't have a cup.
What's that got to do with it?
A cock means you don't wash dishes. You have a cunt. A cunt means you wash dishes.
I don't see where it says that on my cunt.
Stupid. Your cunt, pussy, gash, hole, or whatever it is round like a dish. Therefore, you must wash dishes. My cock is long and hard and straight and meant to shoot like guns or missiles. Anyone can see that. Speaking of shooting, I need to shoot off, that is, you know, drop my load, shoot my wad, get my rocks off, you know. I have to come, that is. I have to come. No matter what, I have to come.
First of all, the play was release for me when I wrote it, because it gave me a chance to really let out a lot of anger that I had, especially in the sexual scene, about being used. And it frightened me a lot when I first did it. But now, after having worked on it for a while, and then working on it with Faith and Sherry, you know, watching them go through the kind of, Sherry had a lot of trouble with her role as the girl, because that's the role that she always never wanted all her life. She was afraid of being seen like that. And so she had to break that down. In other words, she had, by becoming that girl, that sweet young thing, in essence, she freed herself from her own fear that she'd be seen that way. And that made her one step freer as a human being, to be sweet if she wanted to. And both Faith and Sherry liked playing the male role better. But whatever kinds of fears you have, fears of being aggressive, fears of being seen as a sweet girl, whatever kind of fears, they all come into operation when you're doing this play.
Will you help me do the dishes?
Help you do the dishes.
Well, they're your dishes as much as mine.
Again.
Will you help me do the dishes?
Help you do the dishes.
Well, they're your dishes as much as mine.
I don't remember when it first occurred to me to start a class for all women. I know it must have been somewhere in the spring of 1969.
Like a little Barbie doll. And you've got to find a body position that's comfortable for you to do it.
Help you do the dishes, but you don't have a cock. But you don't have. Oh, it's hard to do. Good.
Now, sometime during that semester, I wrote a letter to my chairman of the art department announcing that I wanted to start a class for all women. And the reason I wanted to have that class was because so many young women came into the art schools and so few came out the other end into professional life. And that I felt it was my responsibility as an older woman artist to begin to feed back some of my information about my struggle to them and allow younger women to benefit from my experiences.
What does that?
Start with what?
What does that have to do with it?
You have a cunt. A cunt means you wash dishes.
I don't see where it says that.
Every time you come down.
Me, I need to. I have to, I need to, I must.
sexually?
Yeah.
Can you remember it?
Yeah.
Can you become him?
Yeah.
That's what you have to do. Bye, Cap.
We're just gonna get in the back seat.
The male art community was not, like, it couldn't serve me the way it served men. First of all, because my imagery was different, and so they didn't understand the nature of my work, so they couldn't do anything but they couldn't really give me support for the areas I wanted to develop, because where I wanted to develop had to do with my own femaleness, and so the men couldn't help me with that, so I really had to be completely alone. At the point at which the environment was real, suddenly my desire to be alone broke down. All of a sudden I didn't want to be alone anymore, ever, again.
Yeah.
So I said, I don't ever want to be alone again, not for 1 minute, you know. So the girl said, okay, well, you know, you come and you have as much being together as you want, you know, because you've had so many years. Like, I started thinking, how could I have spent all that time alone? I mean, I spent 7 years in my studio alone. I mean, I'd stay in there for 5 days. I wouldn't see anybody. I have no idea how I did it. I did it because I had to. But all of a sudden, I don't have to anymore, so it all broke down. So I didn't want to. So then I started thinking, what's the matter with me? Because I started having normal feelings, you know, like most people have, like they don't want to be alone all the time. And it freaked me out. I thought, you know, I'm breaking down. You know, I'm copping out. I'm afraid, you know. And it took me about 3 weeks before I realized that it was normal to have those feelings of wanting people to look at my work, wanting to have sharing, you know, of ideas, wanting to have people who knew what I was doing. You know, it took me a while to think that that was all right, because I've spent so many years, you know, isolated from that, feeling that there was nobody I could trust, you know, and I had to really be careful and guard against anybody, like, pushing me in a direction that I didn't want to go, away from what I knew was myself.
When I first came to this class, well, you know, when we had our first sessions, like, I had a real kind of foggy idea of myself, you know. I knew I had, like, fears that had kept me from doing anything, like, really doing anything that I respected, you know, like, getting good grades in school or doing any good art pieces. I kind of you know, I never really put much value on myself, so I never, like, did a good job. I never, like, you know, tried for perfection, you know, or success or anything. And so when I first got into this class and met Judy, you know, I decided that maybe I could achieve something, you know. I noticed, I started getting these feelings about, you know, like women's liberation, you know, and how that maybe my problems only weren't just personal ones, you know, that weren't just my failures, but they were like other people's problems too, you know, and especially in this class, like I met all these girls who had like the same problems that I did. I kind of thought I'd get by being this pretty thing who was very sweet and kind, and you know, I did all right until I didn't have to try very hard.
Before how it's blonde on the ends. I think that's really important.
I used to, when I was about 2 years ago, I used to cut my hair really short, and I wanted to be Twiggy really bad, you know, because I was really skinny and stuff, and so I used to have this real short haircut, and I dyed it all blonde. You know, I used to look like that. It was really awful.
Yeah, but I've always wanted to.
Wait.
Break! What do you think I am, an elephant?
That's that 2 by 4.
Huh? Oh, let's go. I do push-ups.
I can do push-ups.
In the morning.
How many push-ups?
20.
That's good.
If I really busted my ass, I could probably do 25.
Let's not call it men. Pole push-ups. Yeah, I never understood that.
Oh, well, look at that.
I can't even
I'm lucky I can get, I can just do that. Guy would show off, Leah.
Oh, fantastic shot.
I can't really press the trigger though. Pull the trigger. Pull the trigger, Judith. I'll pull the trigger, Judith, and make a noise. And you'll kill me. Come on, Judith, shoot me. Shoot me, Judith, come on. Come on, Judith. Come on, Judith. Chicken. Come on, you can't do it, can you? Can't do it, can you? Come on. All right, Judy, come on. Come on. Everything's been wrong. Come on, you can do it. Come on. I'm ready. I'm here. Come on. You're dead. That was a lot of fun. Oh, Jesus. What?
Oh, I just kept saying, every time two friends I've had died by guns like that, I just couldn't stand watching it.
How old do you think she is? Maybe 35. She's older than me. She's got a lot of wrinkles.
Well, you looked 16 until last week. What are you talking about?
Lloyd knows me since I was 18, you know. So I look and I say, Lloyd, look at the thing so old, Lloyd. Look at all the wrinkles on my face, Lloyd. He looks right in my face. Pull in my face and says, what wrinkles?
Well, it's true, look.
Pull in my face! He lies to me.
That's what a good marriage is based on. Lies at the right moment.
Well, I really don't see any wrinkles, though, Judy. You don't have any wrinkles.
I defy you to find a wrinkle.
Okay, go.
1, 2, 3, 4.
C-C-C-U-N-U-U-U-N-T. C-U-N-U-N-T. C-U-C-U-U-N-T. C-U-N-T.
Fantastic. Hello? If you could calm down, thank you. It's with great pleasure that I introduce to you T. Grace Atkinson, whose work and writing for a long time I've admired, whose political theory is among the most brilliant political theory being written at this time in history, I think. Yeah, so T. Grace Atkinson.
I was going to talk on marriage, motherhood, and prostitution. They are very interconnected. How many women here are married or plan to get married? How many had the man picked out? How many of you have read the domestic relations laws? That's us. Slavery used to be under that. Domestic relations, they call it. Pigs, cattle, women. Odds and ends. Family court. That's the picture they don't show. You know, they have the bridal picture and she's crying, they never say why. In addition to that, she stinks, right? So they get you to buy another deodorant for that special day, the execution, right? I talk mainly to women, in other words, in my mind. I was married, I confess, right? We got that out of the way. So, I mean, if men have a hard time understanding what I'm saying, it's kind of because a language is developing of thinking and so on, and you just have to make the best of it.
What is that thing you got like this? But we all have to put ourselves on We don't hate
I'm not putting up for any more women. I'm sick and tired of fighting for things like abortion, and it's my act to help these bitches out there who say, yeah, I want an abortion, but I'm not going to fight.
I mean, besides,
no more. You stand up or you get no.
The more important
name, address, and the rest.
The more important, right? The more
I've
important
had it with
stop
them.
is that you're asking to
You
be
can't
an authority
ride on my back or
and
anybody
ratify
else's,
your relationship.
and you bullshit. This is done. It took me a long time, but I saw too many women sell out and virtually murder other women. I'm going to pull my weight, but you're not going to tell me you're the same as me, because, honey, you're on the other side of my gun. Got to say it. You want to be happy? I'm telling you. Look, you can shake your head. Wait till I get my gun permit. Find out. I mean, this is what it comes down to.
Now, wait a minute. I think there are women who have chosen to, as well as struggle in the movement, who feel that part of struggling in the movement is struggling with the contradictions in their relationship.
Honey, let me tell you, at Harvard, they said to me, some woman came riding around, it's the
that
same
may not be
thing.
your choices. Those may not be your choices.
Yeah, I like
But I
to
don't
live
think
a bad way
wait a minute.
and a lot of shit.
I do not think, I absolutely do not think that it's either correct or perceptive of you to malign women who've made those choices. I
Okay.
think it is absolutely correct of
I'm
you to
prepared.
say, wait a minute, I think it's absolutely correct of you to say, your man has to give evidence all the way down the line of his
I'm
commitment
saying,
to
okay, let me
feminism.
see him. No.
I think
Evidence
that
to
in front of his
in
peers.
public.
I think in
In
public. I
public.
think that's absolutely right. That is absolutely
Well,
correct. That
okay.
is the demand we have to make on men. I think we cannot be involved with men unless they are willing to fulfill that demand. But what do you do if you are with a man who
You
is
must be
struggling to
lame
fulfill
if
that
you
demand?
have to.
Listen,
Okay, no,
listen.
okay.
You say,
Listen.
if you have a man who is struggling to fulfill that demand, then your responsibility as a human being is to stay there. If you can't.
Come on.
No, what do you
Come on, as a
mean?
human being. What is this kind of bullshit
What do you mean?
crap?
That's our
It's
responsibility
an
to each other.
ACP shit.
Come on, bullshit.
It's
Look,
disgusting.
look, listen to me. This is what I'm trying to describe.
Somebody
Will
is
you
going
let me
to squeal
finish?
on a woman instead of the pigs all the time.
Would you let me finish this? Since you were asking me about this, and I think that you weren't terribly honest when I asked you about your marriage, you kind of sidestepped it. But I'll tell you all you want to know about mine. 'cause
No,
I'm
according to my
trying-
theory, would be bad.
Look, I told you I'm in a different place from you. My concept is to build a human community of women into which we will slowly integrate men into human relating.
The light shines more than on the heart.
What is Kant? We have definitions of ourselves by men. Kant is passive, Kant is receptacle, Kant is vessel, Kant is giver of all rewards and blessings, mother. Kant is evil, demonic, will swallow you up, blah, blah, blah. But those are all projections, fantasy projections.
But what we have to do is we have to seize our own cunt, grasp it firmly in our hands, and proceed to announce what it is. Announce that it's real, that it's alive, that it's aggressive, that it's outgoing, that it's, that it looks like this, that it needs this, that it has this kind of dimension. And what does that mean? That means to really take control over our own identity as women. And our cunts are symbolic of our identity as women. When people when people put people down by calling them cunts, it means that cunt is an image of contempt. That is what a cunt is. Well, we have to get hold of our own image, take it over. That's why I changed my name. Because I took hold of my own identity, and I said, henceforth, I shall determine who I am. I reject the definition society has given me, because the definition society has given me are non-operable. They are incorrect, they are non-operable, they are crippling, they are dehumanizing. So I take hold of my identity, I take hold of my cunt, henceforth I shall say what cunt is. I shall build cunt myself.
I'm so vulnerable.
Me, I need you, I must, I have to,
Was it all right? Did I do it right?
Yes, it was fine. Now, let's go to sleep.
You know, sometimes I wish I could come too.
Now you know you don't have to, like I do. Your cunt was made to receive. If you keep this up, making all these demands on me, like wanting me to wash dishes and wanting to come and everything, you are going to castrate me.
Castrate you?
Yes, castrate me